Hello, football fans. Come on in, let's huddle up. Another big weekend coming up. We have the Crimson Tide going to Columbia, South Carolina, and we have the New York Jets hosting the Minnesota Vikings with a new player. I mean, the Vikings are going to town or coming to New York with a new player. Okay, but first I want to talk about the Crimson Tide. It's been a fun ride so far. We've had some tough games. We're getting better. And we've even experienced a hostile environment down at Arkansas, certainly. This group that we're going to play against has a strong fan base. The fans supporting those Gamecocks, boy, they're pretty tough. And they'll let you know how they feel. And so much so that the old fun ball coach Steve Spurrier, whom I happen to be a big fan of, has actually addressed the fans this week there in South Carolina and asked them to be strong but on their best behavior. It seems that they let folks that come to town have their wrath when something may have been said ahead of time, like Lee Corso, the old football coach now doing ESPN work. They were a little tough on Lee. So you can expect them to be tough on anyone wearing crimson and white, huh? Keep an eye out. Steve Spurrier will have his team ready. They're a good team. They're coming off a week's bye. They're well rested. Has some good athletes, a running game that features a freshman running back, and I don't know, they're going to have to play their best ball, really. The Crimson Tide is the #1 ranked team in the country, and for a very good reason. They're strong, we're strong. Coach Saban, you have to start there when you talk about the Crimson Tide now, and the way he's instilled a kind of behavior, way of thinking for his players. The players must do it, but the direction he's giving them is solid. I love the way Coach Saban points things out and explains things. You know, we're always looking, everybody's always looking for an easier way of doing things, and that keeps progress going. But in football, when you get between the lines especially, there's no easy way of doing it. And the preparation it takes to get there, there's no easy way of doing it. At least guys that are as smart as Coach Saban and some of the other guys haven't found any easy ways yet. So the Tide, they deserve that #1 ranking because they're executing their education. The education they're getting in football anyway, and they're good students in school, I understand. I like the way the conditioning is holding up for Alabama. 6 games, man. This is the 6th game in a row, no byes in between. The hidden bumps and bruises that we fans don't get to see, these players carrying around, they hurt. They hurt. So my feelings, having witnessed it a great deal on the practice field, is such that I feel for those guys. When you're a teammate of a guy and you see him gimping around a bit because he has a big old black and blue spot on his arm and stuff, but it's not going to slow him down from working. Those guys are tough. Scott Cochran, his strength and conditioning efforts have been outstanding. The physical part of the team is probably what most opponents fear. And those Gamecocks are they're gonna get it. It's gonna be a tough game. The Crimson Tide defense is communicating more cohesively. They're sticking together more. They're picking up things more. I think we'll see our defense continue to grow And at South Carolina, they're going to have to stop their running game, sure, but we've stopped everyone's running game for the most part. There's a wish list for South Carolina. They want to run the ball so they can open up the passing game with Garcia, their quarterback. Well, this young defense, for the most part, that the Tide has had on the field has grown in these last 5 weeks. And what we're going to see out there come Saturday is a more cohesive defense and yet as relentless as ever. Now, we're pretty sound on that side of the ball physically. Offensively, hey, that offensive line, man, I keep patting them on the back and wanting to do what I could for them. I'd be cleaning out their lockers if I were the quarterback. I'd tell you, anything they said, hey, Joe, do this. Yes, you bet, buddy. That offensive line of the Tide is doing a terrific job. And keep it up, fellas. Keep it up, you know. That's of course where it starts for our skilled players. This is the part that concerns me a little bit this week with the skilled players are the bumps and bruises. We know that Julio Jones has a questionable knee. We really won't know if he's going to play the game until Coach Saban and Julio decide, and that'll probably be Saturday afternoon prior to kickoff sometime or close to it. The quarterback, McElroy's been beaten up a little bit, and I'm surprised that he has, as smart as he is, I'm surprised that he hasn't learned that you're not supposed to lower a shoulder. I mean, you can pick a smaller defensive back sometime, but please, Greg, get the yardage, but we need you. Protect those shoulders. Go down when they're coming after you. Man, I like to feel good about our chances if Greg gets bumped around a little bit. AJ has the ability to lead the team, but again, Greg, we need you, buddy. Stay in that pocket or else get down. The running backs, folks, this is an old quarterback. On a Monday morning, I had to roll out of bed. I was so sore sometimes from being knocked down. And one morning I laughed at myself trying to get out of bed thinking, Joe, you're a quarterback. What is Boozer and Snell, Mathis, the running backs, the guys that get hit every play? What are they feeling like? Oh, man. I can't even imagine it. The hits that they take and the hits that they put out. Boy, you talk about getting some bumps and bruises. Well, Trent Richardson, Mark Ingram, they're going to lay some bumps and bruises on those Gamecocks come Saturday. I'll be there watching just like you football fans will and pulling for the Crimson Tide. Not going past the Crimson Tide game just yet, but I am looking forward to the Jets as well come Monday night. You folks have a good weekend. I'll get back at you soon. Ready? Break!